Marvel, if you want us to enjoy the new Captain America, then you need to give us a reason to enjoy him. Hey all, my name's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. I love watching movies. The good, the bad, the in-between. Those are a little scary sometimes. Every review, I break it down into 3 different categories. The one thing that I liked, the one thing I hated, and the one thing I would change. And today's movie is Captain America: Brave New World. So, without further ado, let's just dive on in. Oh, I forgot to say, go grab your popcorn. Very important. In Captain America: Brave New World, Sam Wilson, that dude right there, he assumes the title of Captain America, and in this movie there's a little bit more of an international dispute happening. There's been a failed assassination on the president, which was played by Harrison Ford, and then there's this new Falcon dude, and they find this new island with some type of source that I think starts with, I know it starts with an A, antimonium, antinendium, I don't know. I forgot what it was, but it started with an A. Everyone wants it. So while everyone's going after this thing, there is a bit of tension between a lot of the countries, mainly with US and Japan. To be honest, this was a very political movie. I'll say it. Now, the one thing that I liked about this movie was Anthony Mackie himself. He has the talent, the charisma, and the screen presence to lead a film. And so he did pretty well in this. But did I love him as Captain America? No, not really. You can't replace Chris Evans, and the movie knows that. So they kept trying to convince us that Sam Wilson is the right person for Captain America without just letting him prove that he is good enough to be Captain America. Mackie has shown that he can handle it all on his own. But instead of giving him a fresh start, what Marvel did is they keep trying to tie him back to Steve Rogers' legacy. It's like they're asking the audience to compare him rather than embrace him. And I'm gonna be honest, what I think should have happened was they just give him his own new superhero, whatever that is, and just let him do his thing. Because otherwise, a lot of people are going in wanting to see Chris Evans, and he's no longer there. And I just feel like that pins him in such an interesting pickle. What would have set him up for success was just let him be his own superhero that he can build and that a new generation of audience will love. The one thing that I hated about this movie were the side characters, specifically 2 of them. The first one is the new Falcon, and his whole personality boils down to, I'm the new guy, I'm the replacement. He spends a lot of time letting the audience know that he's new, he's cracking out a lot of jokes, and he's second guessing himself. So it makes it feel like the movie is begging the audience to like him.
Tell me I'm pretty!
Instead of letting him have his own character and develop a strong personality, what they should have done right away was just make him confident in his new character. Address that he is new, but then move on. Be confident about it. And I've already seen this happen before, and Now You See Me Too, when Isla Fisher leaves for the second one. And so you got this new girl coming in, and the whole movie, she's like, I'm new, I'm new, I'm new. I'm like, I know, you're obviously not the girl from the past movie. When movies do this, it shows a lack of trust in the audience that the audience can move on and like a new character. If the character is written well, the audience is going to like them anyways. You don't need to give constant reminders of who they're replacing.
Tell me I'm pretty!
Now, the other one was the head female security guard. I think that's what she was. We're just gonna go with that, the head security guard. I didn't have an issue of her being female, but I did have an issue of how believable she was for what she needed to do. She is a tiny lady, unarmed, and somehow she is fighting 5 military men with no weapons whatsoever. And then you're seeing Captain America and Falcon in the back trying to fight 2 guys. And then Captain America's trying to use his shield. And Homegirl over here is doing battle with no weapons. Make it make sense to me. She is a small, tiny woman. She is fighting 5 trained military men. I'm sorry, but she can be picked up and thrown very quickly, and that didn't happen. If you want to go that route where you are using a female that's going against a lot of men, or really anyone who's bigger and stronger than her, you need to use the logic that's made in the movie. A really good example is Kill Bill. Beatrix Kiddo was very dangerous. She was able to defeat multiple people, not because of her strength, but because she was skilled in the art of her sword. She understood weapons, and so she used that to her advantage. And it made sense for an audience member to be like, yeah, she was able to do that. And clearly she was not stronger than some of the men in there, because once there was a moment where one of the men was stronger than her, and that's where she was the weakest. So what I'm trying to say is, no matter who the character is, what their gender is, you need to make sure that if they're going to go up into battle, or really anything, that you need to make it realistic. The one thing I would change about this movie is trying to make it more of a standalone superhero movie. This movie was not trying to be its own self. Instead, it was trying to set up for what's next to come in this new Marvel universe. To me, I thought the most interesting part was the Red Hulk, though they gave him 8 minutes at the end of the movie, but they were so focused on trying to set up everything else. Like, I would have been fine if they were trying to lay some groundwork for the future movies. What they should have done was establish Sam Wilson as Captain America. Like, on my drive home from watching the movie, I was wondering what made the Avengers so great. And I was really thinking about it, and it was because they made us enjoy all of the characters individually in their own movies. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, they all got movies that focus solely on them. And the premise of the movie wasn't to build into a universe quite yet. When it came time for the Avengers to assemble, it made sense. You would look back and see, oh, I see this clue, that clue, that clue. I see how that was tying in. But you also just got to enjoy those characters as they were in the beginning. So when they came together, you're like, I'm even more pumped for them. Where Marvel went off its tracks with this setup is that they're rushing into making a multi-universe too quickly into this. They're not allowing the audience to fall in love with the characters first before introducing the bigger story itself. This is the first Captain America movie without Chris Evans, so this was Anthony Mackie's time to shine, have the torch pass on to him. But that didn't seem to be the case. It felt like he was just a small piece to a larger puzzle rather than being the main attraction. Instead of making this political drama the main focus of this movie, which towards the end, it seems like it's not really going to be a huge thing in the future movies, they should have just given Sam Wilson his own villain to fight. Something that would allow him to establish himself as the new Captain America instead of having the franchise's agenda overshadow the whole movie. If you want people to love the new Captain America, then you need to give them a reason to love him. Overall, I didn't think that this movie was bad, nor do I think it was good. I left the theater feeling like I watched a setup for a better movie rather than a complete story. Marvel's so focused on building this new universe that they forgot to make this a standalone film. Had they taken the time to establish Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, let him fight his own villain, this would have been a good start. The movie was also banking that you've seen the show, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not seen the show. Will I go see the next Captain America? Probably not. I didn't leave excited for what's happening next. Instead, I left feeling like I wasted my time. With that said, were you satisfied with this movie? Let me know in the comments section. And if you're into honest movie reviews, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post every Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you press that bell, you get to be notified so you don't have to forget when I'm posting a new video. How convenient. Also, I do have a letterbox, so go ahead and give me a little follow. You kind of get a little sneak preview of some of the things I might be reviewing. And I'll leave my username in the description. And that's it for today. So go ahead and stock up on your popcorn. We're obviously not going to be using it for the next Captain America movie, but there's other things like Snow White. But until then, I'll see you next time.